championship permutations quickly. As Max needs more points than me for the championship, I will list his positions. Max P1 with or without fastest lap heads to Japan. Max P2 with, when I say with, I mean fastest lap. When I say without, I mean without fastest lap. Max P2 with, I need P1. Max P2 without, I need P3 with or without or higher. Max P3 with, I need P2 or higher. Max P3 without, I need P4 with or without or higher. Max P4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 with, I need P5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 or higher. This is position below or higher. This is the position below max or higher, except when max is P9, where I can finish P11 or higher. Max P4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 without, I need P6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or P11 with or higher. This is 2 positions below or higher with the fastest lap, except when max is P8, P9 or P10, where I do not need the fastest lap, and P10 I just need 11th or better. A bit long-winded, so if Max wins, it's to Japan. Max second with fastest lap, I need first. Otherwise I need a position below or higher or better if he has the fastest lap, or 2 positions below with fastest lap if he does not have the fastest lap. Cool. Qualifying 1 was exceptional, as I was clear first. 1.354 seconds ahead of Russell, and with at least 2/10 margin in each sector. Finished the session and Max popped into P2, going 0.970 seconds behind me, qualifying 2, and the rain began to fall. The rain began falling, and I got an early lap in, so I headed with a 1.749 second advantage over Leclerc in second place, with at least 3 tenths in each sector. Of course, with the rain, no one improved. Qualifying 3, and we bowled. I expected the rain to ease because of the forecast, but it did not, so I went out for a first run when everyone was on an in-lap. I completed the lap with an attempted save, which became a full-on spin, and we topped the timing. Huge snap left, saved, and then a small snap left, saved, but became a snap right, hit the wall, and received front wing damage. Came in for repairs, but the clock was already at 1 minute, so I had no chance of improving the time. So I had to hope at the 0.699 second gap to Russell was enough. But it was not, and Alonso took pole, going 2.129 seconds quicker than me. So it seems the rain did ease, but not enough for drives, which is what I thought it was going to do. If I did my normal thing and went out earlier, I could have had a better time and had time to do a second run when the rain eased off. Anyway, in a moment, all we need is 5th place behind Max in 4th place, and we win the championship. So let's go. We have surprisingly good pace around the streets of Marina Bay. Let's not waste it. So here's the sector 3 from that one and only lap that we had in qualifying 3. So as you can see, we were P10. Literally everyone was on their in-lap before. I'm going to say, I think I've said this, and I can't remember what I've said in the highlights. It was last Sunday, 6 days ago. Anyway, everyone was on their in-lap, so that was bad. Coming around the final 2 corner, final chicane now, heading to the line, left-hander, about to see the snap, now, saved it, and then, yeah, there's a small snap left, but in trying to save it, it snapped right, and yeah, it was quick enough time to go P1, but it didn't matter.
Welcome then to Marina Bay and a tough, bumpy street circuit that will test these drivers to their absolute limit. So sit back and enjoy the action here at the Singapore Grand Prix. We're here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit today, located in the heart of Singapore. The circuit consists of 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right. It's a track that's incredibly technical, so don't expect to see the drivers taking too much of it at full throttle. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Fernando Alonso yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, Lando Norris and Leclerc, Perez, Joe, Sainz and Esteban Ocon, Bottas, Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo and Vettel, Albon, Tsunoda, Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly, Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So here we are on the grid for the Singapore Grand Prix. Looking at the strategy views, we have a medium, soft. Let's see if we can optimize that strategy a little bit more. 15 seconds quicker than what the game suggests already. Can we go 20 seconds quicker? 17.4, 17.4, 7.6. Looks like that's going to be the highest it can go. What about medium hard? It's always a good strategy around here. 20, 5, 4, 4.4, 4.4 only. Yeah, it's 15 seconds slower. Wow. Okay. See, variation of the two. See, softs and hards. 20 seconds slower. No. Okay, let's see. What about if we went softs in the middle of the race? Double softs. Let's see if we can do that. 14 seconds. Yeah, it's not really good. How about medium, soft, medium? I'm trying to remember what order I changed strategies into. Yeah, I was that dumb to put the exact same strategy out. Yeah, I copied the exact same strategy from above. Without even realizing. Well done, you idiot. Right. Let's see. Medium. Soft medium. See what that does. If you saw, the forecasted rain comes about 1 hour into the race. That's what the icon means. It's 0, 5, 10, 15, 30, 45, 60, 90, and 120 minutes into a session. 3, 6, 7. Oh, there's only 8 there. 5, 10, 15, 30, 45, 60, 90, 120. That's probably it. Or get rid of 45. Either way, second last icon, 1 hour. Rain's going to come in 1 hour, so we want to make sure we're on soft tyres for that, if we can help it. Rather not be on the mediums. Setup feels good. Underfueled car, don't want to do it too much. We're going to be in traffic. We are going to be in traffic trying to get our way ahead of Max. So, do we want to underfuel at all? 60.6. Yeah, don't want to risk it. Everyone else on? Mediums. We're doing the same. Here we are for the race that could potentially decide the championship. It's not going to be easy with qualifying P10 in the rain. Yeah, like I said in qualifying, hopefully, if I remember to. The weather suggested it was going to dry, so kind of waited for it to. It didn't. Went out too late for the first interlap, so we didn't get a second interlap. And even if we went early enough, we crashed at the final corner anyway. So the front wing damage meant that we wouldn't have had time to do another lap anyway. So we started P10. So here we are, P10. And go off board for this first lap. So we got an okay start. Valtteri on the right hand side got us. However, into turn 1 we just braked a little bit later than everyone and pulled ourselves alongside Sainz. And through the exit turn 2, the acceleration meant that we put ourselves up into P9. One overtake already in the first sector. Max up in P3. At this rate, all we'd have to do is P4 and we'd win the championship. Tried to overtake Perez into turn 5, however it didn't quite work. And we're just backing off a little bit, making sure that we don't risk any damage, as that will put us low down the grid. And with forecasted rain at the end of this race, don't really want to be making pit stops that we don't need to. Tried to make a move out of turn 8, 9 and 10. Didn't quite work. However, out of the hairpin, turn 12, turn on the ERS, towards the outside we go. Down braking, Perez goes in quite speedy, but then slows down dramatically at the apex, and we put ourselves up into P8. So on board at the start. We won't need to go past sector 1. So yeah, just diving, just braking a little bit later. There was the gap, so I took it. Making sure the gap's still there, and out the exit corner, gave him enough space, and we put ourselves up into P9. Checo up there. Up next, Racengineer and Norris battling, so I thought, oh, maybe I can get a run. However, just into the brake zone, braked a little bit earlier, and Perez kind of just cut across a little bit. No damage from my front wing though. Do I need to see the overtake? No. Okay. Sector 1, here we are at lap 2. And chasing after Lando Norris, and an overtake would put us up into P7. An overtake a lap would be quite nice, but even better than an overtake a lap would be even better. An overtake around the outside, forcing him to the outside, putting myself in the middle of the circuit for turn 5. Gave him space, he took the curb instead, and I put myself in P7. Should have really given him a little bit more space. I'm not going to sit through the whole of sector 2 just because we're in sector 2 now. Yeah, could have gave him a little bit more space, but he kind of just drove onto the curb anyway. Racengineer up next. See if we can dispatch of him quite quickly and continue our rate of overtaking of +1 a lap. It'll be a little bit harder after the show, as there's a bigger gap to Leclerc than there was to Zhou. But towards the outside of turn 5 this time, making sure we stay in the middle, drifting right away from Joe, and we were able to get ourselves up into P6. Yep, drifting right. Joe kind of hits the curb and goes a little bit deep, but just able to go clean round the outside and up into P6 we went. Just gotta go quickly to that one, to Nicholas Latifi, the other LNN. Really? This is why you're not in F1 anymore. He tries to overtake Pierre. He's nowhere near him. Watch this. There's Pierre on the left, diving his own teammate. And then Latifi, what are you doing? I can't tell if you've given yourself front wing damage. I don't think you have. Where am I? There I am. Yes, lap 5. Coming up to P5 then, Charles Leclerc. Let's see if he'll play nice. And he'll easily let us pass for P5. Obviously it won't be easy, but let's see if he defends quite hard. Like his life depends on it. Try to go around the outside turn to make the inside for turn 4. Get squeezed off, and then try to go around the outside for turn 5. Get squeezed off again, and he locks up, and so we nip up the inside, which becomes the outside for turn 6, inside for turn 7, and we kind of just squeeze him a little bit. He could have gone off. He could have gone round, but it wouldn't have worked for him. But yeah, I think that was very naughty from Charles. So here we are. DRS flowing, DRS open, no DRS for Charles. Yes, I'm not close, but Jesus Christ. I mean, twice he's done it. Like, if I continue, I'm going into the wall. And I continue again, I'm going into him or the wall. So I think it's very naughty from him. But hey, I get him anyway at turn 8. Yeah, he could have gone, but he may have gone into the wall. But it's kind of just what he did to me. Why did I pause it? Lap 7 and we're chasing off George, but we finally catch up to him on lap 8. The streak of one overtake a lap is over now. However, the streak of however, the streak of overtakes on this corner is increasing. Again, this is what towards the outside of turn 5, that's what it is. Keeps in the middle, drifting right, making sure that we don't crash into George. He goes over the curb like Joe did, but we put ourselves up into P4, and now we are in championship winning position. Finish the race like this, and we win the championship. Actually, I'm not sure who has the fastest lap at this point. It might be me because of the massive gap between George and Charles, and Joe and Charles, giving me a lap or two between them. Yeah, we don't need to go on board for that. Lap 9, Max Verstappen then, within his DRS. We don't need to make this overtake, but it would be quite nice to win a championship in style with a victory fastest lap as well. So let's see if we can do that with an overtake on Max. It actually came on lap 10. My bad. So really close to him, under half tenth. Closest gap of anyone. You can't see anything, please, 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 thank you. Closest gap of anyone in the grid so on track at the moment. See if that pays off as we head out turn 4 towards the outside. He does a Charles, go towards his outside though. He doesn't do it. He tries to do a Charles, but we force him to the inside, and out of the corner we move ourselves up onto the podium, an indefinite winning championship position. So yeah, he kind of does a Charles. He goes across the circuit completely. But I don't know what he's doing. Like, seriously, that is not a line that you take through there normally. Look at that, middle of the circuit. My battery controller's away. What a surprise. You don't do that, Max. Literally, if I have enough speed, I'm going in the wall. So I go to the right, and he still tries to put me in the wall. Not as much. Just a little jink right. And then does the stupid thing of trying to go over the curb and failing miserably. Lap 11 within DRS of Hamilton now. See if we can put ourselves in a position where it'll be a 1-2 for Alpine. As we close up to him, within half a second, and coming out of turn 4 tenths is the gap, but it's slowly decreasing, and 2 tenths as we open the DRS. Go towards the outside, force him towards the outside of the little kink. I go. I'm trying to commentate and it's not working. Alright, let's say it again. I go to the outside of the little kink. This time he does not do a Verstappen or Hamilton. Charles, I'm a little bit closer. And then for turn 5, I force him to the outside. Either then tell him the curb or P3. The curb and damage or P3. He decided to go for P3. Nope, he decided to go for the curb. Okay. Yeah, I should really have given him a little bit more space. Oh well. I realised that, and for Alonso, I tried to say I'll give him a little bit more curb, a little bit more space, not a little bit more curb. I can't decide how much curb he takes. As we come up to him, coming out of turn 4 under half a second again, 3 tenths this time, as he has no DRS, and we pull to the inside even before the kink. Almost contact as we head into turn 5, and he does the stupid thing of hitting the curb and slowing down. Allows me up into P1. Now at lap 14, we did a 118.2, 148.2. So I just want to find out. Well, I know what it is. I just want to make sure, because I know that I definitely did not have a snap of oversteer throughout this stint, pretty much. 22, lap 15, everyone pitted. Oh yeah. Alright, let's go. So, rain forecasted for halfway through the race. 1 hour mark. People don't know what the icons actually mean. It's the timings, not the position in the race. So 1 hour mark, which Singapore, lap 30. But my pit stop was lap 24. So I thought, see if we can push till the rain. And so lap 22, I was just trying to conserve the tyres. Didn't quite work, and we went wide at turn 1. But tyre conservation was good, and we weren't losing too much grip on these tyres. Lap 23, we also went slow again. And Mark was still telling me 10 minutes to rain. So I was like, okay, see if we can extend these mediums all the way to the rain, because we can save a pit stop essentially. Yep, just so. Okay. However, lap 24, I decided in sector 2. At 23, I got a strategy option. I think that's why I was slow in sector 3. Sector 2, I decided that I asked Mark, and he told me 10 to 15 minutes of rain. Till rain. So I was like, okay, I'll just box then. And so here I say box this lap, where I wobble a little bit, and then I try to say set softs, but accidentally do the wrong toggle and say set hard tyres. So I tried to say set softs now, and it didn't work. We went into the wall. Now I don't think this is my doing. I really think I hit the curb, but I haven't looked at it yet. So here he's telling me 10-15 minutes of rain. So I'm like, here, pit this lap. That's why I opened the steering a little bit to try and do that. Say set hard tyres, accidentally. So I wobble a little bit, try and say set softs. And I miss that curb a little bit. So I'm already wide a little bit. Normally you don't really want to hit that curb, but normally I just touch it. No, never mind, I don't hit the curb. I just lose it on throttle. Yep. Just too much throttle. Normally I have about half throttle all the way from here till about here. Then I go full throttle. But it seems like I decide, well, no, it's normally about this line, DRS detection line. But normally it's, I think I'll decide to go full throttle here. And it put me in the wall. And guess who? Max won the race. And looking at the background, the rain came. But looking at the strategies, the rain didn't come. So, yeah. It's a very annoying race. It's weird because I had good pace as well. Let's see the Red Bull. His fastest lap in the first 14 laps before he pit onto new mediums was 47.9. I did a 46.9. I was a second quicker than him. And throughout most of that stint, I was a second quicker. We had good pace. And the stupid thing is, if you look here, Fernando's second, then Lewis, then Max. So after I retire, Max overtakes Hamilton and Alonso. And then Hamilton overtakes Alonso. Oh well. Well, that just means that the championship permutations of this race apply for Japan, because Max gets the full 26 points. That makes it easy. At least I won't have to find out so much more. But at least I won't have to rack my brain to find out what I have to do. Just like this race, I have to make sure Max doesn't win, and if he doesn't, because if he wins, it goes on to USA now. If he wins in Japan, it goes on to USA, fastest lap, and without fastest lap, no matter what he does, no matter who the fastest lap goes to. If he wins, it goes to USA. And if he doesn't win, all I have to do to win the championship is finish the position behind. That's all I have to do. And that's all I had to do this race. But hey ho, I decided to try and get sneakier strategy. Realised it wouldn't work. Realised it'd be too risky. Decided to try and follow my own strategy again. And I guess you could say karma for squeezing Hamilton, Joe, and all that. But hey, it gives me confidence for next season that I was so good around Singapore, but should have been celebrating my championship now. And it's still 20 minutes on the highlights. How has that happened? I wasted it. What I said at the end of qualifying. Surprise, surprise, the race was done on the 12th of March, but it's taken till the 16th of March to do the script, 4 days later. And even more, 2 days later, and the video is actually being in its final stage before going onto YouTube in 2 hours' time on the 18th of March. I think in the previous couple of episodes I've been saying February instead of March. If I have, my bad. Anyway, the tyre temperatures were good, mid and high 80s for the fronts and rears respectively. The grid slot was also alright, with the front right tyre sitting slightly in the yellow line of the grid blocks. How was the start? Well, it was poor, and into turn 1 we had to overtake Bottas, but I took this opportunity to dive bomb Sainz, and heading through to the turn 1, turn 4 complex, I moved myself up into P9. Not actually a bad start. Well, not a bad sector 1. In sector 2 it got better as Norris and Zhou were battling, so it held up Perez, and we finally made the move around the outside of turn 14 as we began sector 3, so I put myself P8. Recap, Sainz was not really a dive bomb, more of a follow checker ahead. I could have overtaken Perez twice in turn 5 and turn 10, but in turn 5 I backed out. It was quite tight. I did not want to lose a front wing. And turn 10, well, I'm trying to overtake in the old Singapore sling area, so that would not have worked well. So I waited for the DRS zone and used overtake, and up to P8 I went. Lap 2 and Norris was up next. A clear and easy move with a good run from turn 4, and put myself in the middle of the circuit for turn 5, and with Norris on the outside I said P8 or damage from the curb, because I left space, but to use it he would have to use the curb as well. No penalty of course, but should have been better from my side, but there's worse people out there, so I'm fine. Lap 3, and I wanted P6 from Zhou. With the newly enabled DRS, it was an easy run on the outside of Zhou's towards turn 5, and I consolidated and moved around the outside and towards turn 6, helped by Zhou slowing massively on the apex of turn 5 and hurting his line and acceleration. Lap 1, we head back to Latifi, who received a collision warning with Pierre when he tried going for a gap at turn 3 that never existed. And so, yeah, Latifi doing Latifi things. One more season and we'll never see him again. Lap 5 and back to me. I took P5 from Leclerc. With his gap to Russell over a second, he had no DRS and on the first DRS zone. So I tried going left whilst the track kinked right, so I didn't have to turn as much. Which is why I do not go to the right side unless I'm alongside early, because they normally pinch you into the wall and you have no space. However, Leclerc also went left and completely blocked me, and so I had to back out of contact with the wall or Ferrari. So I went right, but he did the same thing, and so I had to back out again. I do not want to know what happened next, but he locked up. I nipped up the inside and overtook him down the inside of turn 8 whilst exclaiming, "Very naughty, Charles." Yes, I was not alongside, so I did not need space, but it still does not justify him completely blocking me. Twice. Lap 8, I finally closed in on the 3-second gap to Russell. Sorry, the script does not say Russell. It says I finally closed in the 3-second gap to enough to 2 tenths, so that on the first DRS straight, I gave myself the best chance of an overtake for championship winning position. Since Max was third and I had the fast lap, which means that I already have championship winning position, but I want it, like everyone else, to finish in style with a race victory. I continued with a move on Russell's right hand side, heading into turn 5 and was warranted space and completed the move with a similar incident to Zhou, hitting the apex and slowing massively. Lap 10 and we were within range of an overtake on Max, so into turn 5 I tried to replicate the move on Charles. Going left, Amlex played his part and did a Charles and completely blocked off the left and gave me the options of hitting the wall, his car, or P4. So I took option 4 and went right as I saw it earlier than with Charles, and I did not think I lifted off, so heading out of turn 5 I was already P3 and created an Alpine sandwich on the podium with a Mercedes filling in the form of Hamilton. What also helped out was I was a little bit further back to Verstappen, because he had DRS, so it was not as powerful for me. I did not like the sandwich on lap 11, so I swapped Hamilton and me with a nicer move on his left on the first DRS straight. Hamilton, being fair, did not do a Charles or Max, but me not being respectful, gave Lewis little space on the exit, just like Norris, and afterwards apologised like the AI human, only in the cockpit. I did not go and find a Lewis in-game and apologise to his character. Anyway, some people might laugh at that. Most people won't. Anyway, we're second place with only Alonso in first place. No requiring for team orders, but I made sure I overtook him nicely. On lap 12, I moved right into turn 5 and I was on the outside. And in turn 5, we were already up into first place. A fifth in the race, into the race, and now I can start thinking about strategy and the forecasted range for 1 hour into the race till the end. First lap 14, a small mistake in the wall, and what? Why did I say in the wall? What did I do? I mean, I guess I was trying to use a phrase like another brick in the wall. I don't know. And isn't it kink in the armor or something like that? Anyway, we fell below the target time. In slow motion, I can see that in turn 12 there was a small wobble, which could have been the cause for the slow lap. Lap 22, we approached the pit window of lap 24, but by this point I decided to head continue. What am I doing there? I decided to continue for the forecasted rain 10 minutes away. However, it did not excuse braking at 50 metres into turn 1. So trying to not receive a penalty or warning, in which I succeeded, I lost a second to the target time and rejoined at the apex of turn 2 just before the orange curb at the apex. Yes, I know that doesn't make sense. I rejoined at the apex of turn 2 just before the apex of turn 2. But you know what I mean, turn 2 is quite a long corner. You stay at the apex for quite a while actually, because it's the exit of turn 1 and the entry to turn 3. Lap 23 and we made another mistake which put us below the target time. The mistake was braking a little early and late into various corners which slowed us down time wise, but were not that visual. Then we head to the fatal lap 24. This is my pit lap, and after Max asking Mark, I found out the rain was 10 to 15 minutes away now, no longer a definite 10 minutes. So I decided to refollow my strategy. So in sector 2 I was trying to radio Mark box. You can see this at turn 8 with a little steering change in the turn-in phase. I then told Mark to set the tyres, but I told Mark the wrong tyres, hards. And in turn 10, 11 and 12, I was trying to tell him softs. Ridge strategy to try and have the best tyres when it was raining. Also, I need to clear up something. Using F1's track map, turn 5 is actually turn 6, turn 7 is actually turn 8, and turn 8 is actually turn 9. Just for when I've referenced earlier, apparently there's a little kink between turn 3 and what I call turn 4, which is actually turn 4, but I don't call it that. Which is why the corner numbers are a little bit off in this video. But yeah, I didn't realise the little kink was a corner, and it's not even the kink on the straight. If there was going to be an extra corner in sector 1, it would be that for me, not the little stupid thing in turn 3 and turn 4. Yeah, I was trying to tell him softs, weird strategy to try and have the best tyres when it was raining. Not really. I think it was better to have softs. That was me kind of forgetting why I chose the strategy. Also, that sentence doesn't make sense. Of course I'm going to have the best tyres when it was raining. However, I applied too much throttle too early, and guess what? I spun, exit stage left and crashed into the wall and retired instantly from the Grand Prix. I'm so annoyed, just like Monaco, because for some reason I just had pace at both circuits, and both times I threw it away with a crash that could have been so simply avoided. But the rain did not come, and apparently, as the AI remained on dry tyres through the whole race. But the post-race backgrounds show it raining, so I have no idea. Also, guess what? Max, who should have inherited third place behind Lewis and Alonso, who should have took second and first, they all swapped. Max miraculously won the Grand Prix, leading Lewis in second place and Alonso finishing the podium. Now I know it is possible to overtake at the Marina Bay circuit, but that means Verstappen had to overtake 2 drivers and Lewis had to overtake a single driver, when in 23 completed laps they could not do that, and they had 37 laps left. Oh, and Max got a faster lap than me, gaining 26 points on me. This could have been so easily avoided, but no. Well, at least I can just copy the script about the championship permutations for Japan instead of typing completely different ones. But then, if I finished, I would not have to write them anyway, as if I finished, I would have won the race and championship. Although my day kind of got worse in real life from there, so I'm glad I was not brought down from a high and I was already low, because otherwise the blow hits harder. But a quick recap. Max needs to outscore me by 3 points to continue to USA, otherwise I win the championship. Technically 4 points, because I would win on countback if we got level on points. So, because because I have 14 wins and Max can't get more than 14. So yeah, very annoying that the race ended like this. But that's something we can work on in the season break between this season and next season, which most likely will be Championship 79, because guess what? I mean, if I bottled a championship from here, it is very poor from me if I do that. So let's go win it in Japan, which has already happened for me. I wonder if I gave away what happened. I haven't explicitly said it, but I wonder if my tone has gave it away. You can put that in the comments if you want. But I don't really care. So I'm just going to say goodbye, and hope you have a good rest of your day.